Welcome back to Made on Purpose. I'm your host, Danielle, and we have Darius with us today. Welcome in.
Hello, hello.
Welcome in. We're excited to have you. So tell us, the audience, everybody, a little bit like about your story, share your testimony, how you found God, whatever you feel like called to share.
Okay. Um, so my name is Darius. I'm 35. As far as with my testimony, I guess it dials back to when I was the age of 15. Age of 15, I met my dad. My dad was a youth pastor at the time, and that's how I really got close. I guess got to know more of Christ. Growing up, I used to go to church all the time, go and go, but that was like a routine thing because as a child, you just go wherever your parents go or your grandparents. But meeting my dad, it was more intentional as far as with my relationship with Christ. So at the age of 15, that's when I got saved. But I didn't really like deep dive into like my relationship into Christ until I became an adult. And when I became an adult, there's some things that I was battling with as a child. With meeting my dad late, and then just childhood trauma that I endured. I was trying to handle those stuff on my own. With handling those stuff on my own, like I had my stuff going in circles and circles and circles. And then eventually in 2018, I started therapy.
Mm.
Therapy started to help a little bit, but it wasn't really resonating with me. I mean, they gave me coping skills and way to maneuver with my emotions, but it really didn't detangle me from like the emotional ties that I have grown to have with battling with my traumas. Um, but then going back to where I know from at the age of 15 with my dad introduced to Christ, I get back into the Bible. And of course, throughout the times of me getting back to the Bible from 2018 to now, backtrack and feel like it was lukewarm. But in the past 3, 4 years, it has been so profound as far as how much of my spiritual growth has been with Christ. Um, I
Mm.
think it's being more substantial now because it's being more evident because I'm being publicized and then just keeping it to myself. And I think the content that I'm trying to portray now is trying to relate to other men to be more vocal and be representation as far as who they want to be as a spiritual person, especially spiritual man. And I'm praying that as I continue to make content, that format still captivates to the audience that it's okay to be publicizing your faith and how your walk in Christ is, and be able to relate in a sense to where it's not a shame to be vocal about where you stand.
I love that. I think it's just so important that again men see men being vulnerable, and it's like it's normalized to like talk about and have feelings and be like, okay, this is what's going on. I'm struggling with this. I'm bringing this to Christ. I'm asking him for help, right? I'm not just leaning on like my own understanding. I'm not leaning
Right.
on like drugs, alcohol, women, like whatever that is, right? We all have
Right.
like things that we use to cope. Like, of course we want people to be bringing it back to Christ, but like seeing that that is like the easiest and the best way, that's like so incredible.
Right.
Love
I
it.
think throughout the journey, I have backtracked, of course,
Who
because
hasn't?
I'm
Who
saying we
hasn't?
all human, we all human. But I just think that as my journey progressed, there was trials and tribulations that I endured, and it always resonated to me to go back to what I was taught from my dad. Just being around my family-oriented family, it was just get back into the Word, pray, and just be in the community. That's the bigger things too for me is being in a community where I'm saying it's like-minded people, as far as being in a church and not just being in a church, but being a group outside the church to where you can fellowship, to reconnect and stay into the word. That's something that I really profound too as well because as the times where I was backsliding, I was drinking, going out, stuff like that. But it was all that was a void because of what I was battling with. And I just knew that the void only had me going around in circles. So I definitely knew I had to make a change.
It's like when you're like trying to fill it with anything, like nothing will bring you. I struggled with that, like the same thing, and I backslid. And even before Christ, like I was like, I was always like missing something. You're trying to fill
Right.
that. Nothing is ever going to fill that. No therapy, no drugs, no alcohol. And like literally nothing will ever fill that until you're like, okay, like I can show myself completely to God. He knows me already. I can go
Right.
to him with everything. How do you feel about like, have you ever considered like starting like a men's group? Or like, do you go to one or like what does that?
So I attend to a church here that has a men's group. However, with me being in the military, so I've been in the military for 16 years. So one of the
Wow.
things that I lack, yeah. So one of the things that I lack is stability because I'm always on the go. Um, but if I always needed to like ear to lean on, like I can always pick up and call somebody. I'll call my dad. My dad's a pastor. Um, but I try not to lean on my dad so much because he is my dad. And I know he's a pastor, but I try to lean on outside ears as well. And there's no disrespect or nothing against him. It's just different from hearing it because when I talk to my dad, I hear my dad. I don't hear pastor. Granted, he's preaching the word and it's straight from the Bible, but I just love to hear from somebody else. And it's just to keep it, I guess, unbiased in a sense. Um,
Different perspectives too.
but that, but yeah, different perspective, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah, I like it,
yeah,
and it's I like getting different people. It's like I have my like couple people that I call because you're like it's just good to kind of get those different places to everything too.
right,
Really, you're
right,
like
right.
it's just different with a parent too. Sometimes
Right.
like you just need that like friendship that they're going through that like right now. It's just like times when you're like, okay, this is the person that I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's your
Exactly.
favorite place you've ever been? If you've been everywhere, 16 years in the military, that's crazy.
Yeah. I did 2 tours in Afghanistan. So yeah, my 20s is a blur.
Wow.
Um, but I mean, I would say that how can I put it? I guess in my 30s, I learned a lot of lessons in my 30s because my 20s were too loud. So
Ooh,
um,
that's good. Oh my gosh, that's how I
yeah,
feel. Oh my God. People are like, do you remember that? I'm like, was I there?
yeah. Man, a lot transpired in my 20s.
Mm.
So that's why I say I've definitely learned a lot in my 30s from my 20s for sure.
Mm. So where was your favorite place you've been?
Mm, so I don't have a favorite place. Most of my all of my career I've been stateside. I traveled overseas twice, but that was only to, fight in the war.
Mm.
Um, I don't recommend that for no one.
No.
Um, but I've been all over the stateside though. So all over Midwest, down south and east. Yeah.
Mm. And you're out of Texas now?
Yes, I'm in Texas right now.
Like, how do you like Texas?
Love Texas. If I when I retire, I would consider Texas to be a place where I stay for sure.
Texas is fun. Texas
Yeah,
is a good time. Texas.
yeah.
I've been to Dallas and Austin.
Okay. Yeah, Austin is nice.
Dallas and Austin, yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas
I'm
is
in I'm in San Antonio. San Antonio's okay.
not fun.
I mean it has outdoor activities for sure, but it's not like Austin though.
Yeah, Austin's fun. It's a little
Yeah,
crazy. It's a little like
yeah,
different. It's a good time.
yeah.
Um, okay, so let's get into the fun questions. So, how do you personally date, and do you use dating apps at all?
I do not use a dating app.
Okay.
Um,
What is your thoughts on them? I love to hear thoughts on dating apps.
I mean, personal preference. I mean, I have nothing against it. I just don't use it. I wouldn't use it. I'm more of a like in person.
Hmm.
Um, I like first impressions. I like to see people in. I like to see the woman in person to be able to see the body language, eye contact, conversation, initial contact type. Um, I mean, I feel like dating apps you can just project people what you want to see, people what people want to see. Um, I It's not my cup of tea, I would say. But if people use it, I mean, if people use it, that's fine. I mean, I know people who met people on dating apps and they got married. But dating apps is not my forte.
It is so hard because I've been on and off of them for years, and I feel like
Mhm.
the body language and the you can kind of create whoever you want to create
Yeah.
is something that I've really realized. You can create this like fantasy and facade. They're not the worst thing, it's like I don't like to because I know people have met on there, but I just feel like it's like an awkward, it's kind of like giving like catalog almost, So I like hearing that perspective.
But I
So
mean, social media wise is, what I'm saying? People use social media as a dating app as well. You know what I'm saying? So like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever, Facebook.
yeah.
Um, So I mean, to be honest with you, like everything it could be considered a dating app in a sense, where it's not directly towards like, the dating apps like Tinder and the other ones, but it just depends on how social media is used.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Okay, so if you're like if you see somebody and you like you not you see somebody, you see a woman, you're like, okay, I'm attracted to her. I'm like catching the body language. Do you approach? Or how
Yeah.
do as women, how do we like if you were to tell a woman how to like be approached, like how to perceive herself as approachable? Does that make
Mhm.
sense? Like what should we be doing as women to show like we are interested in you, like without doing too much? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
What are the things that like the key indicators that we can show?
It's all nonverbals, of course. So it'd be like the double look or just a look or um I don't I mean some people and I would consider them not myself. Like I'm not as confident with their approaching a woman unless there's clear indication. And I'm not saying that because I'm scared of rejection. I've been rejected before. I'm not saying that. I think I think public rejection is something different where
Wow.
someone sees you go up to a woman and she just rejects you, then it's a different type of rejection. Um, but I just think there has to be some nonverbal indicators that a woman will give a man like that she's interested. And that'd be like a quick stare, a double take, you know what I'm saying? One of them right there. Um, or she's walking fast, but she's slowing down.
Okay.
Like, let me see what else. Uh, like I think those two for sure be
Okay.
like some kind of indicators like what she's you know what I'm saying she's showing that she's interested.
Okay, so if we see a guy and we're like, okay, he's cute, like, is there anything or like, because I obviously think like women should be pursued, right? However, I don't
Mhm.
think that there's anything wrong with like opening up the door to a conversation to make him. So like, what's a good thing that like we could that you'd be like, wow, okay, she's like, I like that
Mhm.
she said that. Like we could open the door kind of thing. Like,
I just think just a woman approaching it is enough
mm,
for I would say for me because like you said like women are most likely to be pursued. So if the roles were reversed, it would catch us men off guard, of course, but we would like it because that's rare.
what should
Um,
we say or what do we do? Like if we were like, okay, he's cute, like what's like a good, not a line, but
I
like,
mean, you ain't got to spit game or nothing like that. It just be casual conversation. Hey, I saw you from afar, and da da da. Like, it's just casual conversation. Like, I'm horrible at spitting game, so like, if it was me, it would just be straight casual conversation. Hey, how you doing? I just saw you from across the way. Just want to see if I can. If she quick, if I can tell she's quick on time, like I know you, I see that you're kind of quick on time. Can I at least get your contact and we can just talk something small. It ain't got to be a straight dialogue. I just feel like if I was to meet someone or if a woman was to approach a man, like just be straight cut to the chase. It don't have to be a 10-minute conversation because the point is to get their contact so you can engage with conversation later. So that's just my point of view on it.
I like that. Well, I don't really think it's good when a guy like can spit too much game because I'm like, how much game? I'd rather you come up and you're like, yeah, can I get your number? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
come up spitting game. I'm like, how many girls do you hit on in Target? You know, I'm like,
I
you
mean, it
know,
could be a quick punchline. It ain't got to be nothing like
yeah,
exaggerant.
like a good little.
Yeah,
I
like I don't play chess, but I can see a queen when I see one.
I love a cheesy pickup line.
Yeah, cheesy.
I like cheat like those crack me up. Like the cheesier the better. Like I
Yeah,
like, but that's not everybody's cup of tea, but I do love a cheesy pickup line.
yeah,
Okay, so eye contact, double look, slow down, just like really like open yourself up to like letting him know. You can't just like
yeah.
stare at the ground. Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of women don't like to. Well, I won't say don't like to be approached. They like to be approached, but I think there's a certain style. So I would ask you. You know what I'm saying? If
Mhm.
a man was to approach you, how would you prefer to be approached?
I just like straight up. Like I just like when somebody is like, "Hey, like I saw you like I think like you're beautiful. Like I'd love to like if you're single, I'd love to like exchange numbers or something. Like
Mhm.
keep it straight to the point." Um I like a cheese. I think it's like just goofy when somebody says it. So if the right guy walked up with a cheesy pickup line, I would be like, "Okay." But
Yeah.
I just like straight up. Like even if like I wasn't my biggest thing that I love to say to women is like even if you're not like 100% interested in that guy, like first of all never be mean to them because now you've shot down his ego and he's never going to say like something to a woman again. Like
Mhm.
be nice still. Because I just love honesty. I love when
Right.
he's like, hey, I'm interested in you. I'd love to get to know you more. Like, can we grab coffee? Can we grab dinner? Let me get your number.
Right.
So for me, it's like I'm big on like I catch a like feeling. I'm also like open up the conversation. Like I've started conversations with guys like um well, I've only done this once actually at the gym, but like a guy, I'm like, you can't use this often, but you got to be like, are you using that? And then you
Hmm.
see if he starts the conversation. The are you
Gotcha.
using that? That's my, so you guys, that's for the guys too. That's
Mhm.
either one of us can use that. Are you using that? And then you catch the body language. And if they're like talking to you, then you're like, all right. So I'm like, I'm telling all my girlfriends, I'm like, you can't pull that one out. You can use that once. You can't be hitting
Yeah.
on everybody at the gym.
Yeah.
Scope out your gym crush. But you can't be asking everybody if they're using the machines. That's
Right.
crazy. But
Right.
I'm like catch the vibe and
Hmm.
see. But I love a straight up like, hey, I'm interested in you.
Hmm.
I'd love to get to know you. Because as a woman, I want to be pursued, but I put myself in positions to like be open so
Hmm.
that a guy is going to know that like I'm interested. So
Right. So you mentioned the gym. I want to ask you,
yeah,
like, do you would you prefer to be approached at the gym?
great question. I think it's such a great place, right? Because like if we're like-minded people, I
Hmm.
work out like 6 to 7 days a week, or 5 to 7 days a week, whatever. So the gym is a huge part of my life. So
Hmm.
like that is huge to me to for a partner. Meaning I would love to meet somebody who's at the gym. It's
Hmm.
a very tricky situation though, because A, if you go at the same time, you are going to run into that person
Hmm.
all the time, right? So it's very tricky. So I think you just really have to like with that one specifically, I think you have to test the waters for like at least a week or two, like at least a week or two,
Hmm.
preferably maybe a month, like just like really catch it because if it doesn't work, it's going to be really awkward.
Right.
And if that's your gym, like, can you change gyms? Yeah. But just
Yeah.
like scope it. Like, if she's consistently looking at you or if he's consistently looking at you, somebody needs to say something. And
Right.
even if it's like I've started talking to like there's a couple guys in my gym that are just like friends to me now. Like
Hmm.
as I'm like we started talking and
Right.
I'm like you ruined it for yourself. Because
Hmm.
one thing I swear with like when you are walking with Christ, people will tell on themselves. Um, okay, wait. I think it's gonna end in 10. Wait, let's see. Um, People will tell on themselves immediately in a
Right.
conversation. Like it's actually crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would never be interested. So I think like if they're looking at you and if you're looking at them, like you kind of catch that, like, okay,
Mhm.
like start the conversation and then like catch a vibe. Like if
Right.
you think that she's interested, like you think he's interested, like continue that conversation, become friends with that person, and
Right.
then see what happens from there.
How-
You
So
think
I had this conversation before, and I kind of have like the same perspective, but then I also have a different perspective.
okay.
Um, because I feel like I find it hard sometimes to even consider approaching women at the gym. Also, because I feel like people
Mhm.
use the gym for different reasons. Like people use the gym to decompress. People use the gym as an outlet. Some people
Mhm.
use the gym to like, their form of escape from whatever. So it's like
Mhm.
you don't know where people are at, honestly, because people just have different agendas when they go to the gym.
Mhm.
Um, but then, like you said, it goes back to what you said when it comes to like those nonverbals as far as, conversation. I mean, not the conversation, but the eye contact and, saying just the consistent nature. But then there's also a point where you don't know if they came to the gym with somebody
Oh, you gotta
because
watch that. You gotta watch that.
yeah, because they come to the gym as a couple, split, do their own thing, but then like you could just be, you know, misaligned as far as the intent if they just scanning the gym, just like people watching, or that's you just don't know. So that's why it's like when it comes to like approaching in the gym, I kind of like shy away from it because I just don't know. And I know people will say, well, you should just give it a chance or just try to see where it's at. But then, like I said, like just like you said, like this is the gym that I regularly go to.
It's a tricky. That's why I'm like, you kind of like give it a little bit of time,
Yeah.
scope it out, see the vibes, see like how it goes. Like if it's there, you definitely first thing I'm doing is I'm checking for like a
Right.
significant other. I'm gonna scope it out. First day, I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna keep
Right.
my eyes. So I think it's a very, very tricky. It's a very tricky place. But I do think that there's a way to do it. And I just think it's like starting off with a friendship. You don't have to walk up and like say anything crazy. It's like, hey, are you using that? I love my favorite for women and tell me from a guy. If a girl
Mm.
walks up to you and she's like, "Hey, can you help me take this weight off?" You just got into a conversation. I'm not
Yeah.
asking you anything. I'm not like um even saying that you're attractive. I'm just like, "Hey, can you help me?"
Hmm.
Like, and then we will just like you start talking to that person. Like as a woman,
Right.
like if a woman came up to you and said that and you were like, "Oh, she's attractive," right? You're
Hmm.
probably going to continue that conversation for a
For
couple minutes,
sure.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him if he's using that or ask him to help you because tell me if I'm wrong. Men love to help.
Yes.
Men
Yeah.
love to help. Ask
Yeah.
him for help. I love to be like, I can't take that off. I'm a little fairy girl and I can't figure out. Can you take it off for me? Like, let me blow up your ego and tell you I can't lift that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Help me. So ask him for help. Ask him for help or ask him if he's using that.
Gotcha.
The gym is, we're like, okay, it could be okay.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you
It
like
could. It could be.
it could
Could
be
be.
okay. Don't make it weird though. Yeah, like don't compliment outfits. Don't like
Right.
that's like I'm like, okay, there's a way where I'm like, you just ruined it. You just ruined it
Hmm.
so bad. Like you just ruined it for yourself there. Like why'd you have to say anything like that? So I think just like be chill. Okay. So that's approaching. Okay, so we like when a woman says something. So, okay, what do you look for in a woman? Green or red flags?
Um, we can start with green flags. Um, I would say faith and values alignment, of
Mhm.
course. Emotional intelligence.
Mm,
I think those would definitely be the top two. I'm really big on emotional intelligence because communication, instead of shutting down and
mm,
blame shifting and um, any form of manipulation, I think that's real big.
mm.
Um, integrity, of course. Um, I won't go. We ain't got to go too deep. I'll just give you three green flags. Three
What's the
red
deep
flags.
one? What was the
Say
deep
again.
one? What was the deep one going to be?
Oh no, no, I'm just saying. I don't want to go a rabbit hole and just
Mm.
trying to list everything. Um, red flags. Um, trauma bonding.
So, like, example.
You asking for an example?
Mm.
Um,
An example.
like if there's something that happened in the past
Mm.
that wasn't resolved, and you stepping into a relationship, now you putting what you dealt with on the current person that you're dealing with now,
Mm.
um, and they're taking on the weight of, you know, I guess giving you the assurance you need because of something that you haven't dealt with.
Mm.
Um, so it'd be like, for instance, I can give you an example, a good example. Um, like my past, I had a problem with that the person was cheated on through social media.
Mm.
So when it came to my social media was scrutinized up and down. Like if I follow somebody that they didn't found attractive, it was questions why I followed them. It was just
Mm.
going down this rabbit hole of just like of what they dealt with in the past. So get instead of like constantly get reminded them like, hey, I'm not your past, I'm not your ex. Like then you provide security for them to let them know to reassure them that this is not that. So like share locations, like constant communications throughout the day, FaceTimes, during the morning, during the day, at night.
Full-time
Um,
job.
right. So it's like, in a sense, that was trauma bonding because,
Mm.
granted, I didn't, I didn't endure the trauma on this person. The trauma was brought from the past, but we're bonding because the fact that I'm dealing with something that I didn't have to deal with, that I didn't do, but I'm trying to give her the reassurance to let her know, like, hey, like, I'm not your past.
Mm. That's, I think a lot of people. because they're jumping, right? They're like in one relationship, they're not healing, and then you're just trying to get that quick dopamine fix, so you jump into the next one without taking
Right.
a second because it's actually scary to stare at your insecurities and your issues and your trauma in the
Right.
face. It's easier to just mask it. And those like those demons get like bigger and bigger and then they're never going to go away. You're just going to
Right.
keep pushing them down until you explode in a relationship and then it's going to end in a negative way because it's never going to work out.
Right.
Yeah, like you have to trust and like what's being in a relationship if you can't like trust somebody? What's
Yeah.
the relationship?
Yeah. I just feel like when it comes to trauma bonding, like the fact that the person hasn't dealt with they whatever they endured, it gives them the opportunity to throw a rock whenever they feel. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a disadvantage on the other person, especially if they didn't endure the trauma from that person, that they
Mhm.
have to deal with that. Now, granted, now I know it's like probably 9 times out of 10, like everyone has trauma that they're dealing with. I just feel like there's certain levels of trauma where it's going to be a conflict or it's going to hinder the development or the growth of a relationship because of something that you haven't took the chance to heal from or to, you know what I'm saying, face value of it.
And it's so like, I don't know, anytime I've ever like once you start that like healing and that self-growth journey, like it's just so cool to like uncover things about yourself to like it's like a
Right.
muscle. You break that muscle down to then grow into a bigger muscle and then you're more
Right.
emotionally intelligent, more emotionally aware. Do you think this is a question that just popped in my head. Do you think that as you continue to become more emotionally developed and more emotionally mature, do you think your dating pool shrinks?
It does.
Hmm.
It does. And that's just not only like trying to say that I'm like real strict on who I date and stuff like that. I think also in the development of the self healing and getting back into the word, one of my prayers that my dad taught me is like ask God to show me me. And that's just and in that phase of asking, yeah, I know, I know, like that type of question, like ooh, you know what I'm saying? But like
That's scary.
seeing like just looking at yourself in the mirror and just taking in the good and the bad, like that just takes more accountability and that also builds integrity within yourself to like, hey, like I don't like this about myself. Like I know I need to fix this character trait about myself if I want to be a better man, a better husband, a better boyfriend. It's like that type of stuff is something that I am very pivotal on because I'm not perfect.
Mm.
I'm not. I'm sorry. Somebody
Oh,
trying
you're good.
to. Let me put this on and do not disturb.
How dare you?
um, I know that, you know what I'm saying, I'm not perfect, so I know I have traits that some people may consider to be a red flag. I feel like everyone has a red flag at some point.
Mhm.
But I just feel like when it comes to dating, like I have to be able to be honest with myself. Like, hey, I know I'm weak in this area. I know I need to work on this area, and that just not on. That's just like I said before, just keeping myself accountable and showing that integrity. But with myself and then who I'm dealing with at the time. I just, what was the question again?
Red flags, green flags.
No, no, you came up with another
Oh.
question.
If when you become more emotionally aware and
Hmm.
emotionally intelligent, does your
Hmm.
date pool shrink?
Yes, it does
Yeah.
because not only if I'm looking for the emotional telling side, but I'm also looking for the faith value alignment as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, I just feel like those have to coincide for
Yeah.
me to be even interested. I mean, yes, the physical would be there, but then once we get more intellectual with the conversation,
Yeah.
if those don't align, then yeah.
That's where I totally agree with you. And I think it's so hard, right? Because it's like you're like, why like you want to date, you want to go out there, but like I would much rather my dating pool be smaller because the only thing that matters to me, like I think as you get old, like you get older and you're more you establish in your faith and you're emotionally aware. I would much rather be in this place and be protected than be in a relationship with somebody that isn't emotionally healed. And
Hmm.
I'm like living in my own personal hell, right? Like I think it's so like important to wait on the Lord because like he's not going to withhold that from you.
Right,
Like if
right.
you are constantly working, if you have a desire, like I think it's in Matthew, the scripture is they're talking about like being single and being who's single and who's not. And
Mhm.
there's scripture like if that desire is in there, like that's a good thing and it will be fulfilled. Like not everybody is meant to be in a relationship, but if
Right.
it's there, he's going to fulfill it, right? So
Right.
that dating pool is smaller, but that's a good thing. It X-nays out the craziness.
Hmm.
If you just listen, people will tell on themselves. Like I've gotten myself into many situations where people were so blatantly telling me to my face their intentions, and I was just like the three blind mice, I say. Like I was just like, oh no, maybe it'll work. But like you just have to like trust that like your dating pool smaller, but that's a good thing. Like you don't want to be dating everybody. You want like and that's where I like think like the Lord really convicted me on dating apps because we're called to be set apart.
Hmm.
Dating apps are so worldly because it introduces this like you are just meant you can date whoever and how many people you want, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So against every like that's so against everything that we're taught in scripture, right? So if we're called to be set apart and we're going on dating apps, scrolling, even if you're talking to that many people, you're entertaining them. If you're friends with people, that's a different story. But like
Right.
if you're intentionally on a dating app, you're going to be talking to people romantically with the intention of dating them. You're now dating multiple people. There's not like a we're
Yeah.
talking, you're dating or you're not.
Right.
Like that's just like I never really understand when people are like, "Oh, we're talking." I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Yes.
You're dating, like you're in a relationship. So, I agree. I think the dating pool really decreases, but I think that like that's such a great thing because it weeds out everything for you.
Hmm. But when it comes to the dating in general, I have to be more open-minded because within
Mhm.
my journey of healing, I have been fortified in my solitude to
Mhm.
where I'm comfortable just being in my space. Like I got a dog now. I have a dog for the
What's your
past
dog's name?
Arlo.
Arlo. What kind
Yeah,
of dog?
he's a Bernedoodle, a Saint Bernard Doodle mix.
Like, is he there?
Yeah, he's laid out right now.
Oh my gosh. My
Yeah,
cat's on the couch over there too. He's
yeah. So I'm just so content with just being to myself, um, which creates a great foundation when it comes to dating because like when I am dating or when I'm with a woman, like I don't have to be all up in her skin or in her space, you know what I'm saying, 24/7. Like I know there's gonna be times where I want some me time, like I know she's gonna want her time. Like and I think that's the pro to that kind. But then
Mhm.
also when it comes to dating to develop into a relationship, if it don't work out and if I'm seeing these more red flags than green flags, I can quickly go back to reverting to what I was doing before and come back to my safe haven to just being to myself. So it's like when I guess for me it's like a good and a bad in a sense.
Mhm.
But I feel like once I get off the hump and like I know that the progression of us dating is going to turn into a relationship, then I know I'll be in a good space. But within that talking realm, if I sense it like it's not going nowhere, then I exit left quick.
It's when you live by yourself, it is so nice to have your space, right?
Right.
So it is when you're starting to date somebody, it's like welcoming them into like your space and your time and like
Right.
um does it scare you a little bit to like have the idea of like not I guess I don't know if scare you is the right question, but does it scare you to be like, okay, sometime I am going to have to share this space with somebody?
No, it doesn't scare me because I know at the end of the day I'm a husband.
Mm.
I'm somebody's daughter's husband. And I just have to keep that mind state so that way when it comes to dating, you know what I'm saying, that I am keeping an open mindset, like, hey, like this could potentially be my wife. You know what I'm saying? So like let's see where it goes. But like I said, like if if senses are tingling, like, hey, it's time to go, then hey, it's time to go. Um like I always keep that in mind too. So I try to keep it very optimistic when it comes to dating because like I said, at the end of the day, I know I'm somebody's husband. I'm a woman, some woman's husband.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
really, it makes you like not when those days where you're like, oh, that would be really nice. You're like, I am that person. It's like, I am somebody's wife. Like, I am
Right.
somebody's husband. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. So, what do you think is the biggest struggle for men currently with dating or just in general?
I would say in general, just being vulnerable. as
Mm,
far as like speaking in a space to where shows emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like I think men hinder from doing that because we have to carry ourselves in a certain way because of how society has viewed us. And I feel like in that aspect, it shies us away from just being vulnerable to share how we feel, share our emotions. Like regardless, everything is not we're not happy all the time, and I feel like we carry this exterior that we're happy and everything is all good when it's not. And I feel like there hasn't been a space created for us to do that
mm,
because of how society views men. And that's why, like, another thing why how I use my social media is like I want to be able to be vulnerable and share, like, my views on my views and my walk with Christ. And I just feel like that's just a piece of me just being vulnerable in a space where I'm expressing myself through social media. Before I did that, like social media was the space where I did fitness content, but I was getting the wrong attention. Um,
mm,
and a lot of it was self-inflicted because like I was posting, shirtless stuff because I was proud of my progression,
mm.
but it was not reaching the
Hard.
audience. Yeah,
It's such a hard because it's like you're like so proud of what you've
right.
done because like working out and like you're literally like every day you're sacrificing things, you're not eating the things that you want to. I'm doing cardio when I want to do anything else but cardio, so it's like I want to show off this physique, but I'm
Hmm.
also like I don't want anybody to objectify me. I don't want to like that's like my husband's. Like
Hmm.
that's not just for anybody to see. So it's a really hard place to be. It's a hard. I struggle with that too because I'm like, oh, I want to wear that because I feel good, but I'm like, I don't want to wear it, but I want to,
Right.
it's like I want to post that, but I'm also like I second guess things because so it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Okay, vulnerability. Okay, what about with dating? Like what do you think the biggest struggle is for men with dating?
Um, that's good. I think with dating, I think it's the expectation. Um,
Mm,
I think the expectation today is really high than what you would say how it was back in the 90s.
okay.
Um,
How
and
so?
I feel like dating now is very monetary.
Mm. I have a
Like,
strong opinion on this, so that's why I'm like, I want to hear what you, yeah.
yeah, I think dating is more monetary than the experience.
Yeah.
And I say when I say the experience, it's like more of like the interaction and the whole feng shui of how the date goes and like to see if you can potentially go on a second or third date with the person. Like I feel like it's more monetary, like the expensive dinner, where we're going, and how much money is the date and stuff like that. I just feel like the aspect of it has changed, which makes it harder for us men because, in a sense, I guess you would say a woman would come on a date and not be expected to spend anything, which is fine. I'm
Mhm.
not saying that's not a problem, but I just feel like it just makes it harder because of the expectation of how much is being spent by the man to, what I'm saying, show his interest into the woman.
Mhm.
Um, I just feel like the what's the word? The when you open the door and
Oh,
the
chivalry. Oh my
the
gosh, I can
chivalry, the
chivalry.
chivalry.
Chivalry. I can never say it.
Yes, I feel like the chivalry, the dynamic of the relationship with the chivalry has diminished in a sense to where like the monetary of it takes over more than that.
Mhm. To me, like the idea of if you put first of all the bougier dates that I've been on, I could be like a personal experience, but I feel like in my experience, those were the worst men, to be
Hmm.
honest, because it's the glitz and glam. You're leading with that. You're not leading with your personality. To
Yeah.
me, the things that are important are like first and foremost, I think it's actually crazy that women expect a person that has no idea who you are to spend hundreds of dollars on you on a first date. First of
Hmm.
all, mind you, I don't really want to have like a 5 hour sit down. We're vibing great, but
Yeah.
like I don't want to be expected especially if I've never met somebody. I catch vibes instantaneously. I could talk to anybody for hours because I think people are interesting. I'll like talk about your childhood, like I don't know, I could pull things out of people. But like the idea where women just show up expecting these like crazy dates, like I just think that's crazy. This guy doesn't even know who you are.
Right.
Why would you want him to spend that much money on you? Do you want him to be doing that for every woman that he's going on a date with? I would much
Yeah.
rather the guy, truly me, I'm like, let's go grab coffee. Let's
Right.
go on a walk. Let's
Right.
see if we vibe. And then once he gets to know you, then he can do those things that are like, to me, I'm like, I would rather you know me, you know that I like that, then you're gonna put thought into that date.
Hmm.
That means more like you're opening up the doors, like those things mean so much. And
Yeah.
I that changed as I became Christian too. Like
Mm.
I used to care more about the glitz and glam of dating, like take me out for nice dinners, like nice cars, like all that kind of stuff. But like those things don't matter
Right.
end of the day, like somebody's heart matters if they're making sure that you got home okay. Are they opening the doors for you? Are
Mm.
they like, did they pick like, did they ask you like what kind of food you like before, like those kind of
Mm.
things? Like, so I do think that there's a lot of expectations on men to
Right.
right off the jump to do these like extravagant dates and like so many women are like that where I feel like there was only like a smaller pool of women. Now I do think men should pursue. I do think men should
Yes.
pay, right? I'm not like those are all things that I do think, but I don't think it's good to go into a date expecting like some
Right.
grand date. I love coffee. Like let's go grab
Yeah.
coffee. See if we vibe, go on a walk, like kind of see each other's like humor and something like that too. See if you want to continue to like roll out the dates.
Right. See, that'd be my first date
I think
idea.
coffee's great.
Like,
But
I,
women, when I tell people that, they're like, that's so crazy. That's so low effort. I'm
yeah, that's,
mind you, I'm busy. So I don't really want to commit to a 4 hour date with somebody that I'm not vibing with. I'm like,
mm,
let's go grab coffee
yeah,
and then okay, I'll see you again in a couple days. Like,
right, yeah,
to me, and that's like nobody's like putting too like I don't want to say putting too much in. We're just catching a vibe. We're seeing if we're friends, right? Everybody's a brother or sister in Christ until they're
mm-hmm.
until the Lord reveals that, okay, this is your person. So, I think that coffee dates are 100% should be like for coffee, a quick lunch, like if you really vibe and you want to grab dinner, but I don't think that there should be any expectations on a first date, except for him to pay, wherever that is. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think that there should be any expectations. Like, if he wants to bring flowers, great. Like, if he wants to do those things, that's great. If he wants to plan a whole date, that's great. But like, I don't think that there should be expectations.
Yes, I agree.
I don't. Okay. What's okay, what is one thing? Wait, do we know that was one? What is one thing you want women to know?
Mm, have patience.
Oh, oh, how so?
Um, I feel like, in a sense, like I feel like just based off my experience, I feel like when it comes to women, based off my experience, I
Mhm.
feel like they like patience is very thin,
Mm,
and in general, not in the sense of like not a scenario based. I just think it's in general to where um,
okay.
they don't want the time to be taken to see how things evolve. Like they want to know now. Like, hey, like where are we going?
We are women. Yeah, we
What are we doing? And like, and I'm not like with me. Like I can be a slow burner because it's like I'm not trying to rush anything. Um, and like for an example, like I was in a relationship for a year and a half, and like I know God wasn't telling me to move with marriage, but I kept getting questioned about marriage. Like,
Mm.
do you see yourself marrying me? I do. Okay, when do you think you're gonna propose? Whenever God tells me. And it was like that response was not enough. You know what I'm saying? And just that right there just took me back to the Bible in Genesis where Abram was kept asking God like, "Hey, I know you're going to Sodom to potentially execute these people, but what if these people are righteous and not wicked? Are you still going to execute them?" And God kept giving him the same answer, but the expectation of what Abraham wanted wasn't enough, so he kept pursuing. But it was still the same answer. So that's why I feel like
Mm.
with with questioning and with patience, I just feel like if you just wait to see how things fall out, and if it's a faith-based relationship, it will prevail.
I think it's we so often are jumping to that next thing, right? We
Right.
don't ever sit, right? Everything's so like fast paced, delivered. Amazon Prime is like literally like that's we want answers and we want them right now, right? But there's so much beauty in just letting the Lord like unfold everything. I
Hmm.
was just like I got convicted today. He was like the most beautiful things in my life have happened when I've just been like you got it. I'm not worrying about it, because it's going to unfold. Whether that's like there's it's never too late with God. It's never you're not too old. It's not like it's never going to happen. Like it's the Lord's perfect timing. So like patience is so hard. I feel like as women, we have this like innate like biological clock, that thing that's just always going in our head.
Hmm.
So it can create this fear-based mindset, right? Which is obviously the enemy, right? So getting in our heads, we're like, I think that as women, we can sometimes self-sabotage things because we're like, or we can stay in a situation far too long because if you're continuing
Right.
to ask yourself that question, you don't feel peace in that. And if you don't feel peace in that,
Hmm.
not the relationship that you should be in. And I'm sure that
Right.
if both parties were being completely vulnerable, you would both
Hmm.
probably agree that the relationship isn't there or like somebody needs to like communicate so like there's obviously an issue because we're not seeing eye to eye on something, so
Hmm.
like we got to get to the bottom of that, but
Yeah.
I think like it's going to unfold in whatever way. I think like as women it's just like this biological clock like thing that we think like keeps ticking in our head all at all times and we can scare ourselves, but like that's not the case because the Lord will like it's always going to work out. Like
Yes. I also think it's like society views plays a factor as well because
Mhm.
if you look to your left and your right and you see friends and people that you know what I'm saying, get engaged and get married, you know what I'm saying, that's like, okay, like
I
they
gotta.
only yeah, we got to get this going because like everyone is getting engaged, getting married, and I'm not. So it's like I also feel like that also plays in the fact of what I'm saying, patience, because I just feel like if you try to run your time or somebody else's time, it's not gonna work out.
Mhm. It's not like your life either. It's there, like it's our separate lives too. Like
Hmm.
I wouldn't have been able to do the things that I've like the Lord has fulfilled so many of my dreams. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? All these things that you wouldn't have been able to do if you were married with kids in a relationship, whatever that was. Like, so there it's the perfect timing to everything. So like my journey looks very different to somebody else's.
Right.
But like, why are we trying to like wish our lives away? We're always like, okay, so then, all right, then you get the ring on your finger. Then you want to be married. Okay, then you're married. Then you're like, then I want to have kids. Then you have kids. Then you want your kids to grow up. Like, we're always chasing this next thing.
Hmm.
Where
Right.
if we just like sat in the moment and just listened to what the Lord was actually like ministering to us,
Yeah.
clarity that we would have on like well, we would have all the answers, but we just don't. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I just don't shut up sometimes,
Yeah.
sit with that and be like, okay, this is like, if I'm feeling uneasy, this is why. So
Right. I think that the dynamics change too because like growing up we had expectations to be have a house at this age, be married at this age, and all that stuff, but that was never in the plan.
Mhm.
Because I mean, if you spoke it and you prayed against it and it happened, you know what I'm saying, then you have something to lean on. But
Mhm.
if we just speaking it out of flesh
Yeah.
without lining it with the word, then what you think you're gonna get out of that? So
Yeah.
that's why I was like, that's why I just feel like when it comes to not only just leaning to the word, but just having patience, being still in that moment to see how, I'm saying, how things are going to prevail, how things are going to open up for you. I just know with my experience, like I just felt, I wouldn't say I felt pressured, but I definitely felt a sense of being rushed
Mhm.
um, due to society views of, I'm saying, everyone in that area of, I'm saying, what we know as getting married and or engaged.
It's hard. Well, and then that's a point where like you have to look at yourself and be like, I'm comparing too much. Because
Yeah.
I've been in that boat too, where I'm like, I need a new hobby because I'm clearly have too much time on my hands. I'm comparing to everybody else and I'm not happy within my own life. So I
Yeah.
need to like sit with that, or I'm like sit and like, am I really not happy in this relationship? Am I just trying to rush this because of other
Hmm.
people? Or
Hmm.
I'm just like, I need to go do something else. I need a new hobby because I'm clearly tweaking about something, you know?
Yeah.
So, okay, wait, there was one more. Okay. So what does pursuing a woman look like to you? Or how do you pursue it? Like if you're interested, like how do you pursue? Or how do you think men should pursue?
Mm. Is this after like after getting the contact and after the initial phase, or are you talking about like
Ooh,
approaching and etc.?
this is, you saw her at Target. You said, can I get your number?
Hmm.
Now, how do you pursue? How is like, how should, um, like, yeah, like how should, what should we look for? Like, what are good things that we should look for as women
Hmm.
that a man's doing, a godly man, obviously, right? Like, and what does that look like for you? Like, how would you want to pursue a woman?
So with me, it would be consistency, quick to quick to respond. And when I say quick to respond, I want to make sure I say that.
So he responds in 2 seconds. I'm just
No, no. I would say like at least be promptly with the time as far as with responding. And I say that saying it should be a window between 5 to 10 minutes where you should be responding. Well, I say 5 minutes. 5 minutes, because especially if you're engaging. If I do the initial engagement with the text, like we're conversing, but I'm not a big texter. I'm a FaceTime.
I'm a FaceTime, I'm a
FaceTime.
call. That's
Yeah,
like people don't do that. I'm like, call me.
yeah.
FaceTime or call me.
Yeah, I prefer FaceTime. So, but I know that that can be too quick for some people. So then, like with me, I
I like
will
to get
text.
people off their toes. I'm like, what's up?
Yeah. So I will text first. You know what I'm saying, just to catch the vibe and see what's their style of preference with communication. Like with me, of course, I'm going to FaceTime. I can be we could be on FaceTime and sit in complete silence, and I'm cool with that because like I just think that's another form of
Yeah.
intimacy for me.
Yeah.
Um, because we're still spending time with each other. Consistency, of course, forms of communication. Um, I just think those two helps create time and it applies more effort. It shows effort. I think those two for sure. It just depends on the dynamics. If it's local,
Yeah.
you can meet somebody in Target, but they're not from here. You know what I'm saying? So they can be going back home. So it just depends on the dynamic.
Mm, okay. I like that. Okay. Is there anything else? I feel like we hit so much.
Um, when it comes to pursuing,
Or just in general, is there like anything else that you're like, you want to ask? Or you're
so I would say this with pursuing as well. And when it comes to dates, I'll say pursuing with dating. I feel like being creative with the dates.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like outside of just doing like movies, bowling, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Like I feel like pottery or like
Okay.
art museums and something, you know what I'm saying, where it's captivating and outside the norm. It just shows creativity and it shows effort. Like, okay, he's really interested and like he's really going his way to make sure that not only that I'm good and you know what I'm saying I'm enjoying myself, but he's displaying that he's really interested into what we got going on.
I like that. We like thoughtfulness as women.
Right.
Most of us, right? Like
Okay.
I feel like most women are like, to me, I'm like like I always joke, like a paper clip. You give me a paper clip, but that paper clip has meaning. Like there's
Hmm.
thoughtfulness, right? You stop and grab us a coffee on the way, or you like send us a coffee, or like your like favorite candy, or like you plan a date, or she like said that she wants to, I don't know, go like whatever. Like you're just like you hear it and then you act on it. That's
Right.
what we love as women. It doesn't
Yep.
have to be this grand thing, but you're listening. Like I would rather like a guy, like a guy that I'm dating hear that I'm like, oh, like I talk about tacos and he's like the next day he's like, okay, we're gonna go get food versus taking
Yeah.
on some grand date to a place that I don't even really like,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of money. That doesn't matter. But you like know that I like tacos, and then so
Right.
thoughtfulness.
Yeah, and I have a bad habit with that, and that's why I
Mm,
said when it comes to dating, I have to be slow because I feel like in a sense I won't say a lot, but I can give more than I should in the beginning to where she's like, oh, okay, like he's for real, but in the form is it's not being reciprocated. So then I feel like okay, I'm really doing too much because I can be the type like if you say oh you for instance you go for a run, you're like oh man these running shoes are terrible. Like I'm the type of person to go buy some running shoes and bring you some brand new pairs of running shoes.
The
But I
right
just
girl is gonna, the right girl is gonna appreciate that.
no, for sure, for sure, for sure. But I just know like I can't show that side. You know what I'm saying? That's another side of me being vulnerable. I can't show that side too early in the beginning because, like I said, I could be going too fast, and she could be a slow burner, or it could be the roles reverse. So
Mm.
that's why I really have to do is like catch the vibe with the woman first before I know. So that way I know how to proceed. That way I don't feel like I'm doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want that to make come off to seem like oh, he's only reciprocating the energy that's being put off. No, it's protecting myself because I don't want to feel like I'm being too vulnerable and she's still being reserved.
Well, then it gets to a point where you get your feelings hurt and you're like, well, I just gave that part of myself. So I think it's like, yeah, I think really taking your time at first, getting to know somebody, like listening, like taking those huge listening. I think, what do they say? Like the 3 month rule, but I really think that that's a thing. You've ever heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
I think it's really a thing. I think it really like you got to see somebody through like a couple different things,
Mhm.
and then you're like, okay, this person is like this like stability, like there's like stability, and like now I feel like I can continue to like we've probably gone through something together. We've had a fight, we've worked
Mhm.
things out. Yeah, I was in a relationship that ended. And I think it was a short relationship that like before the 3 month. And I was like, yeah, if I would have waited, I would have seen a lot of things. I would have seen
Yeah.
a lot of things. So I think you have to keep your eyes open and
Right.
listen to what people have to say. And then
Right.
then you have the ability to be vulnerable and like let people see that side of you, which is a great thing. Like I hate when people say like hopeless romantic because it's like that's hopeful. Like there
Yeah.
are people out there that are sweet, right? There are people out there that want to give their heart and like are coming from nobody's
Mhm.
perfect. Like we're all gonna mess up, but like you have that heart posture to be like, I know I want to be a husband,
Mhm.
Like I know I want to do this for these things for like a woman. So
Right.
that's is there any other questions that you have that you or anything else you want to touch on?
Um,
I feel like we popped off.
yeah. I just know when it comes to dating, I really just I just want to just spoil the woman I'm with, but also I just want to make sure that I'm not doing the most too soon. I just feel like because I just got so much love to give.
I know that's how I feel. I'm like
I
my
got so
heart.
much love to give, but it's like, um, well, I was just telling. It was funny too because last night I was on a family FaceTime with my folks,
Mm.
and every time my grandma get on the phone, she was always asking me. She was like, "So, Darius, what's going on?" And da, da, da. I'm like, Grandma, like, I'm out here, I'm trying. She's like, all right, I'm just saying, I know you somebody, I know you a woman's head. I said, I know, Grandma, I'm trying. But it's like, it's hard. I think one of the hardest things for me to date is because I'm in the military.
Mhm.
Military man has a stigma, especially a black man in the military who have a stigma. So it's like not I won't say I carry it, but when women see me and then they know I'm in the military, there's a stigma. Oh, he's a dog. He's X, Y, and Z.
Because you travel a lot? Is it like why do they say that?
The
There's
accessibility, the accessibility the military has in general, as far as like
Mhm.
relocating and meeting new people. You know what I'm saying? Is more highly than someone who's just locally and just staying in one city or one town for majority of their life. So they associate with military people that have different people in different areas to where they can, go travel and see, spend time with X, Y, and Z. And another thing with me being in the military is I lack stability. So like long distance is inevitable right now, because I can be here for a year or two, then I'm going to another state for a year or two, then I'm gone. So yeah, so like
How
for instance,
long are you in it? How much
so,
longer are you like?
so I have 4 more years left till I retire. So 2029, I hit 4 years. I mean, I hit 20 years in the military. And
That's
yeah, yeah. So I'm ready to hang it up, of course.
cool.
But yeah, so long distance is inevitable right now, and a lot of women don't want to do long distance, which I understand. I do understand.
I think with the right person, if you really have good communication, right?
Hmm.
Really like it just has to be like the right situation, right? Like I think you really just it has to be two people being completely vulnerable, completely like on the same page with like everything.
Hmm.
Um, but I know a lot of people wouldn't want to. I think it's like it has to be like that situation. And honestly, like it just has to be like if the Lord's leading you and like pressing it on your heart, like you can't really you got to try that, you know? I
Right.
don't know. I'm just like if that like if it's open to you, like not everything is going to be perfect in life. Most of the time the situations that you end up in, like most of like my friends were like that's not what I expected to happen. That's not the
Hmm.
person I expect, it's not the situation. So I think you just have to be like open to it. But I could see the stigma and the like I could see that and it's probably frustrating because you're like that's not
It's not
me.
me.
You
Right.
know, it's not me, but you're being like categorized as something. So that is like frustrating. But the right, like, if you communicate that, like that person's
Yeah.
gonna see that, see through that, you know?
Right. So what's your top two love language?
Oh, I'm quality time. I like and quality, I just like um okay, wait, quality time, physical touch, acts of no, I take that all back. I am wait, acts of service.
Like
So
service.
that's my top. Oh wait, no, hold on. Quality time, acts of service, physical touch. What else?
So yeah, quality time, acts of service, physical touch. Um,
Quality
maybe
time, acts of service, physical touch.
maybe look it up. Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
Quality time, acts of service, physical touch.
I know it's five.
Quality time, physical touch. What is the other ones?
So you got words of affirmation and receiving gifts.
Okay, so it's acts of service for me. So in quality time. So acts of service, I'm very like intentional based. So
Hmm.
again, like paperclip means the world to me, but like if you like know something, like I have like a crazy if I'm like talking to my person, I'm like my day is gonna be like actually insane. Like I'm literally it's gonna be wild. And then midday, like you like a coffee just shows up or you bring me a coffee, right? Like you're thinking about me. Um,
Right.
or like I had a long day and you like have food ready or like you just go out of your way, right? You go out of your way for me because like I do that for my people. Like I'm
Hmm.
always intentional. I'm always going to think about my person, my people. Like I give from my heart. So like that means and that again that means more like I love nice things, don't get me wrong, but I don't need you to buy. Like I don't need that. Like if I want to buy some if you want to buy me something that's great, but like to me the paperclip means more to me. The
Right.
paperclip with intentionality means way more to me than like a Prada bag. Like
Hmm.
that's whatever. And then quality time, like I'm really busy. I'm a very, very busy person, but like you make time for anybody that you want to make time for, right? So like quality time, like we can go to like the grocery store and have a good time, right? We're sitting at the couch having a good time. Just like being with that person, that means the world to me, like being around somebody. And then I think like physical touch kind of coincides with that. Like I'm a very like I'm a hugger, like I embrace people,
Hmm.
like I love love, I love like just people. So that's mine. I
All
love.
right.
What
All
about
right.
you?
I would say quality time is number one,
Hmm.
and acts of service.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, I would say with quality time, it just and it like even with long distance, it's just like being on the phone stuff like that, and then in person, it's just like just doing stuff. It can just be in the house, laying down, just chilling in silence, us reading or watching TV. Like I'm very, very minimalistic when it comes to like doing stuff. Like I can do the bare minimum and still have a ball. Um,
Oh, I like love like that's why I'm like you can go to Target and you make like the funniest situations out of a Target run. You know, like just like
yeah,
time you're doing stupid stuff together.
yeah. And then with acts of service, like I think with what you said too, just like picking up on stuff where you get small check-ins and stuff like that. But also I think the consideration also plays a factor for me. Like, if I just check in like, hey, today's a busy day, blah blah blah, like you know that, and then once I have that time to check back in, I think that's more reassuring for me as well because I've been in a situation to where I've done that and I still get checked for like, hey, why you didn't text a call? Why you been gone? X, Y, and Z. I just feel like the lack of consideration was a red flag for me. Like it played a factor.
Told you I was going to be busy. Like,
Yeah,
first of all, like I don't want to text. So I don't care. Like you ate like a ham sandwich for lunch. Like that's great. But like, let's just talk at the end of the day. Like
yeah,
we got our own thing, like stuff going. Like if you talk throughout the day, but I just like, I don't know. Like I like why text all day? Like we got to like go do what you need to get done, you know?
right.
And I think if somebody's like telling you that, why would you then why make a fight? I also think sometimes I do think women, we do like to fight over like the dumbest stuff, right? Like we're emotional creatures, but like sometimes where it's like too much, right? Like
Yeah.
once in a while we'll get mad about nothing, but like if that's consistently like that, like
Hmm.
that's a red flag. That like
Yeah.
I would be like if I told like my man I was going to be busy and then he's like, "Where are you?" Like or "Where have you been?" I'm clearly, "What do you I'm at work." Like you want me
Hmm.
to send you a picture with my tail comb? Like I'm at work.
Yeah.
I have meetings, I have things I have to get done. Like I
Yeah.
got places I gotta go. But if you're communicating that, like I also like when my person is busy too. Like
Yeah.
it's so cool that we get to come together. What happened during your day? Like let's talk about it. Like tell me about that. Like that would be so boring if we're just like, I mean, you obviously want to spend so much time with that person, but
Right.
go have your own life too. Like
Right.
that's like normal. That's what you should be doing. But it all boils down to like communication. And I feel like that has like really fallen to the wayside with a lot of things now too, with people.
Yeah.
They can't just like, I mean, that's why like ghosting is so normalized. Like I think that's actually, and I've ghosted many people in my life. I'm not proud of it, like, right? Like, but
Mhm.
I'm like, I would never do that. I just think it's so weird. Like, and corny to what be like, hey, I'm just not interested. Like, just communicate. If you
Yeah.
can communicate with somebody you have no emotional attachment to, how are you going to communicate with anybody in a relationship?
Right.
You have no emotional attachment to this person. Well, who cares if you tell them you're not interested in them? How are you going to tell the person that you're in a relationship with that they made you mad?
Yeah.
That's so crazy to me. Now I'm like, and I've definitely ghosted people. I'm not saying I've never done that.
Yeah. I think we all have done it before. Yeah.
Wow, you've ghosted people?
I feel like it's been a time where communication started to die down and made my exit quietly. Yes, I have. I
Wow,
have.
I don't know if I can have you on this podcast.
No, no, I'm not saying
I'm
like
kidding,
this
I'm
is
kidding, I'm kidding.
this is the younger Darius used to do that. I think especially growing up, I used to do that a lot. Like I
Mm.
think especially in high school, I used to teeter totter with like talking to a girl and then just stop talking. Like yeah,
Well, it's
I
our
think
egos. It's our egos. Our egos get inflated, right? When
yes,
you're younger, it's
yes,
like you have to the humble will be exalted and the what is the scripture? The humble will be exalted. But when you humble yourself and you're like, I can't just have whatever I want and play with
hmm,
people and play games and like act however I want and expect like a good person. I can't do
yeah,
that. I can't be dating multiple people too. I think that that's like the biggest thing is it's like
can't do it.
you find somebody, you communicate that, both parties communicate, hey, I'm interested in you. I'd love to continue to talk and see like where this goes, right? Like there shouldn't even be a conversation you're talking to anybody. That's the conversation, right? Like, hey, I'm
Yeah,
interested in you. I want to continue to get to know you.
hmm,
Let's see where this like I want to continue to talk to you and see if we're meant to be together or not. Because at the end of the day, like what are you dating for? Like
yeah.
just fun? Like you're either dating to get married or you're dating for fun.
I don't have the emotional capacity to talk to multiple women at one time.
No, I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't. That's so overwhelming to think about having to talk to two
Can't
people.
do it. Can't do it.
Oh my
But
God.
I don't see how people do it now. And
Narcissist.
then and
Narcissist.
then
Narcissist.
then with the expectation, you know what I'm saying, like we talked about before with the dating, with the expectations being so high, now you're juggling multiple I can't. Mm-mm.
I think that it's narcissism, and I think that people honestly, I have no idea because I don't even have time in the day to do that. I wouldn't even have time, the emotional like capacity to talk to more than like one person. Like it's actually insane to me to think about to try to balance two different people and make them both happy. When do you see them? When do you see everybody? Who has
Yeah.
time to go to work and then see more than two people?
Yeah.
How do you do that? But I guess just narcissism, people will like figure it out somehow. That's like, but that's, again, I think dating apps have created this like normalness to date so many people.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I was on them for so long, and I just, every time the Lord would convict me, and I'm like, I just don't feel like I'm gonna meet my person on this. I feel like it's gonna be something like in my purpose, something like random. Like, I don't know. I just like was like, it just doesn't feel like my space
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, doesn't feel like it. I mean, we popped.
That was good.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna stop. Okay, this was made on purpose, and okay, I'm gonna record.